Hello, YouTube. We are back for another installment of Captain Arrow, aka Ario. I want to say that Arrow because we don't want to make people upset in saying the wrong pronunciation of the comic book, allegedly. So, what we're doing now is we are going to leaf cast the cover. And this is a very special process because we're going to use different materials and different methods. I'm always evolving my methods, hopefully to the better. This is not Reme. This is Hollytex. Now, this is from Talus in Brooklyn, and it is a different fabric than Reme. Reme is different. Hollytex and Reme they have slight differences, and in particular, they're both non-woven spun bonded polyester fabrics, but the Hollytex is a lot smoother. So hopefully by using the Hollytex, I will be able to get a much better casting when it dries. I'm trying to get a smoother finish when I do this. Now, unfortunately, this upload is going to include a lot of noise because I want to do everything while the suction is on, because I want to try to preserve the Tengojo paper that I previously installed on the back side of the cover. So let me mix the pulp up a little bit. And let's pour the pulp into the squeeze bottle. Now I want to try to do this without getting any of the pulp on the Hollytex, so that's why I'm putting down a paper towel in case there's spillage. So there's the pulp. That should be enough. Let's put a little bit more in because we may use this pulp for the interior pages if I'm able to modify it a little bit in relation to the color. So here is your paper pulp. We're going to close it up and we're going to keep that nicely in the squeeze bottle. The next thing that I want to do is I want to wet the Hollytex. I don't want to wet the cover all at once. I want to gradually wet it. And the reason why I want to do this is because I want to try, like I said, to preserve the actual Tengojo paper that was installed. So what I want to do, guys, is I want to turn on the vacuum now. So stay tuned. It is going to be a little noisy. Actually, I'm taking that back. I'm going to put on the cover and then we are going to turn on the suction. So right there, this is what I wanted. I wanted to slowly introduce the cover onto the wet Hollytex so I can make it where it is flat as possible. And I like the way it's working right now. Now I'm going to put on the suction. Okay, let me shut it off briefly, guys, to explain what I did. In the past, what I've done is I put the cover down on dry Reme, but now what I want to do is I want to do it because I have the Tengojo wrap over the inside of the cover. I wanted to actually do it dry so it will remain smooth. So what we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to start the process. I am going to turn on the vacuum and we're going to start applying the pulp. Now I'm going to do this freestyle because I'm not going to use the clear plastic that I used in the past over the spine because it's too jagged. So we're going to have to take our time and do it nice and slow. So enjoy. Okay guys, I am not done, but what I want to do is I want to mix a little bit more pulp and put it in. And what I want to do is I want it to settle, and it's very important for this cover because it's so brittle that I'm doing the whole perimeter of the cover with the pulp, and it's necessary to conserve it, in my opinion, properly. Now, if you can see, I'm doing a nice smooth layer across the whole perimeter, but I just see a little light spots that I want to focus on. So let's put the vacuum on again and have some fun. Okay guys, I think I'm pretty good. I think I'm liking it, and what I want to do now is I want to put the other piece of Hollytex over the top, and we're going to let this suck down with suction table after I put it on. And then hopefully what will happen is it will draw everything deeper into the paper and all of the cracks and then I'll be able to blot it a little bit. So that's the top piece, and I'm using this, the Hollytex now, with the goal of making it where it's a smoother finish. So I'm gonna put the vacuum on and then we're gonna blot it a little bit, and stay tuned. Okay guys, I'm gonna do this. I'm sure no one wants me to film this, watching what I'm doing for the next 10 minutes or so. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to absorb and blot as much water as I can within reason. And then what we're gonna do is we will put it over to the glass where I'll roll it out. So I'm gonna stop the camera, and I'll be back shortly once I'm done blotting it on the table. Stay tuned. Okay guys, we are back. And I removed the leaf casting table, and now it's resting on my glass, and we have to do the all-important blotting. Now by doing this, this will hopefully make it where the Hollytex is actually imprinted on the pulp when I roll it, meaning that it is going to be a smoother texture than my prior leaf casting jobs. And I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be, but you never know. This is the first time that I'm using Hollytex, and hopefully my goals are achieved. So in any leaf casting job, at least when I do it, this is a very important part of the process, smoothing it out and actually doing it where you are flattening it and pushing it into the fibers of the existing cover. That's how I do it. So let's put another piece of paper towel down. And then let's put the cover back on, which is sandwiched between two pieces of Hollytex. And we are going to see if my goals are going to work. So let's put another piece of paper towel. In addition to rolling it, I also like to take a spoon and I like to gently rub the leaf casting pulp and go in a circular fashion to press it in. And hopefully if there were any voids that I missed, then this will flatten out the pulp and push it in to the voids that I may have missed. So I'll do this. This is the process. And I'll work on it probably for another maybe hour or so, smoothing it out, trying to make a nice product for Mike Night Tiger Comics. I think it's going to turn out well. I think the actual color match was pretty spot on, but sometimes you don't know until it dries 100%. But I do think it was spot on, or at least pretty close. You're never going to get it perfect, just like pronunciation of comic book names and things of that nature. It's funny, I was watching an interview today on Alan's channel, Comic Geek Collector, and he has a great channel, and he was interviewing James or Jamie as friends. I hope I'm his friend. I know I am his friend, from Dragon Inc. Comics. And Jamie said in the interview that all the time you have people on his channel critiquing pronunciation of words that he says. So I heard that and I laughed to myself, because I have a few of people follow my channel who like to do that as well. That's cool, no problem. I always like learning things, but I don't know, it's a little weird. So that looks pretty good, guys. So I'm going to continue this, like I said, work on it for quite some time. We're burning through paper towels. That's okay. And I'll see you soon. I'm going to stop this. And then the next upload will be the results. And in fact, probably cutting it. So stay tuned.